Want to use your high-end dual monitor setup with two different computers? All you need is a specific KVM switch for dual monitor setups and two computers that both support multiple monitors. Whether that second machine is for work, streaming, or running a home media server, it becomes a whole lot more useful when it doesn't need its own keyboard, mouse, and display. In this video, we will discuss the top 5 best KVM switch for dual monitors on the market, so that our viewers can make the best choice. If you want more information and updated pricing on the product mentioned, be sure to check the links in the description box below. Number 1. TESmart KVM Switch 2 monitors, 2 computers. While there are many different factors to consider when picking a KVM switch for your home office, the TESmart HK-S402 on U stands out as an all-around solid pick for any PC that have native support for dual HDMI connections. It offers fast switching between two source machines and is capable of delivering 4K video to 2 monitors at 60 Hz. This KVM switch comes with all necessary cables as well as a wireless IR remote that can be used to swap sources from across the room. Alternatively, you can use the onboard switch button or the scroll lock button on your keyboard. The switch has 3 USB 2.0 inputs, 2 of which are meant to connect your keyboard and mouse, and 1 of which is for extra peripherals. You can connect a USB up to this port if you need additional devices, but note that it won't transfer data as quickly as a USB 3.0 port would. Also note that you should only connect a USB with dedicated power. Pros: supports 4K UHD at 60 Hz. USB 2.0 hub. Included IR remote. Excellent durability. Cons: HDMI monitor required for audio. Number 2. IOGEAR 2-port dual-view DisplayPort KVMP switch. Though your dual-monitor KVM switch options are somewhat slimmer if your machine natively supports DisplayPort instead of HDMI, you still have access to top-of-the-line gear like the IOGEAR GC7942. This hardware controller has all the features you could ask for, including 2 USB 3.0 ports for your keyboard and mouse, plus an additional USB 3.0 port for connecting other peripherals. It also supports true 4K 4096 x 2160 at a refresh rate of 60 Hz, which is great if you have 4K monitors at home or ever wanted to upgrade. The GC7942 comes with all of the cables you'll need for your setup, including 4 DP. However, you may have to change some settings to get this KVM switch working if you have a particularly fancy keyboard or mouse. In this case, the manual suggests that you preemptively disable both mouse and keyboard emulation, which are on by default. This is done by pressing scroll lock plus M plus enter, and scroll lock plus N plus enter, respectively. Pros: supports true 4K at 60 Hz. USB 3.0 hub. Shared 3.5 mic inputs/outputs. Maximize your high-end multi-monitor workstation. Cons: mediocre audio quality. Number 3. TRENDnet 2-port dual monitor DisplayPort. If your workspace houses both a gaming PC and a work PC, then you should be mindful that using a KVM switch might cost you frames or resolution. That's why we recommend the TRENDnet TK240DP KVM switch for use with a gaming rig, especially if it uses monitors with 4K resolution or 144 Hz refresh rate. The TK240DP is one of only a few dual-monitor KVM switches we found that supports both of these specs, though not simultaneously. You can set this switch to either 3840 x 2164 UHD at 60 Hz or 2560 x 1442 UHD at 144 Hz, which is more or less as good as it gets for consumer-grade equipment. The 144 Hz mode is also compatible with NVIDIA G-Sync and AMD FreeSync display technologies. This KVM switch connects to 2 PC via dual DisplayPort connections. This is important to note as the manufacturers of the TK240DP advise against using any adapters or conversion cables in your setup. If this stands to be a problem with your setup, you could always consider the TESmart HK-S401 which has native HDMI support. Also note that the TK240DP doesn't come with any cables, so you will need to provide your own DisplayPort 1, 4 cables, and USB to B cables. Pros: Supports 2K UHD 144Hz/4K UHD 60Hz. Shared 3. 5 mic input/outputs. USB 2. 0 hub. Required cabling. Cons. No included cables. Number 4. CKL HDMI KVM Switch 4-port dual monitor. Do you have 2 monitors and 3 PC? If so, you'll need a sufficient HDMI KVM switch like the CKL 942HUA to share your peripherals and displays with all of them. Since 3-way KVM switches are quite uncommon, this KVM switch can technically support 4 PC. But let's not get too crazy before we even cover the basics. The CKL 942HUA is surprisingly easy to connect thanks to its included custom cables that convert HDMI to USB and 3.5 This is great for making a clean cable setup at your workstation, but not so great if you have to replace these specialized cables for any reason. Plus, it means that this dual monitor KVM switch also supports microphone input/output. To add, you also get 3 USB 2.0 ports. 2 are dedicated to a keyboard and mouse, and 1 is for anything else you might need, or you can add a powered USB hub if you need to share multiple peripherals. Pros. Supports up to 4 PC. Supports 4K UHD at 30Hz. USB 2.0 hub. Dual monitor KVM switch HDMI 4-port. Cons. Poorly handles multi-OS setups. Number 5. GREATHTEK dual monitor HDMI KVM switch. If you are looking for a dual monitor KVM switch that won't break the bank, the PWS7201 KVM switch is our top budget choice. This device performs most of the essential functions you may need without extravagant features like USB 3.0 ports and high refresh rate support. That said, it still supports 4K UHD output and has 4 USB 2.0 ports, so it isn't totally bare bones. The PWS7201 comes with all necessary cables to hook 2 PC up to 2 monitors. Just make sure that both PC natively support dual HDMI connections. You'll want to avoid using adapter cables if possible, as they can sometimes cause issues, but this is far from the most finicky model we've tested. It works decently with other OSes too, including Mac OS and Linux. Pros. Supports 4K UHD at 30Hz. Support 2-mode switching. All cables included. Ultra HD 4K visual enjoyment. Cons. No 60Hz support. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification. That brings us to the end review and buyer's guide. Hope to see you in the next video. Now, in the comments, what is your favorite one? And we hope you like this video. If you want to know the product price, do check out the description box. Thanks for watching.